What do you do when you have a month with your family?
How about this?
Hey everybody, I'm Garrett.
And I'm Carolyn.
And we're Diary of a Family.
We're living life intentionally with you.
Well, we spent a couple weeks with our family back in Washington, and we wanted to share some of our highlights with you today.
We spent some time with his folks, then we spent some time with my folks, and we got to see quite a bit of the cousins in between as well.
It was a whirlwind of a trip, and we wanted to share that. Check in next week for what we did to prepare for our trip to Missouri. First thing that we did when we got to Washington, literally right away, was start helping my dad with his kitchen remodel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are at my parents'. We are starting some of the cuts for the lattice. It should be an interesting project. My dad has it all envisioned in his mind. However, he doesn't really know how it's going to work, so we're kind of winging it and playing it by ear. So it should be an interesting project.
This was a great time to assist Dad kind of putting back together his kitchen. It had been torn apart for over a month. During COVID, he decided he was going to do that remodel, and you guys, it was so much fun.
We were busy on this project for over a week.
We started with priming and painting the walls. We did this amazing lattice work on the ceiling. It was his dad's masterpiece. So the step right out here in the garage is the paint zone. Nobody knocked my paint buckets over.
Probably what it was is there's probably little nubbins on the end of that plastic paint tray, and when you push it in, you probably trimmed them off a little bit.
Well, I remember the old metal paint bucket thingies had prongs that I think would just go slide right in. Garrett and Dad hung all of the cabinets. They were able to get the dishwasher installed, and Dad put the vent over where he was going to put the stove. Sit around doing nothing. Oh wait, the third cabinet.
This one is being held together by two clamps.
Clamps. Wow.
One here and one up there.
Because that's the more important thing. All of the, let me get this. Yeah, all of the ones going this way.
So we just finished up at my mom and dad's house doing their remodel, and I wanted to give you guys just a brief overview of what we all did here during the week. It's been tiring but rewarding because we were able to help my mom and dad get a lot done on their house. So let's go ahead and show you a bit of what we did. First of all, the hardest thing we did was this lattice work. Now this is a fence post lattice with wood trim that holds it up. And then these points have mounts or screws or dowels that hold them in place. My dad got a new light, LED light. There are 2 in this kitchen. Then second thing we did after we got that done, that took almost a week, is we put in all these cabinets. The cabinets themselves are pre-built, and that took about 3 days or so to get all the cabinets in off the top and on the both sides, and then we got all the bottom ones in. This is measuring for the refrigerator. Come over here. This washing machine is gonna go right there. And then my dad has a brand new stove that's gonna go in this one. You can see the cooktop stove, the vent hood right there. And then the sink is right there. Everything else that is gonna be happening in here is definitely not done, but our time here is done. We're leaving tomorrow to go north, see more family.
After we left, Dad was able to finish the countertops, get the rest of the appliances in, and finish off the floor. The room looks fantastic.
When we stopped by on our way back out of Washington, it was a completely different room, which we thought looked absolutely awesome.
Good job, Dad. It looked great. When we were finished, we headed up north and stopped at 1,000 Trails just for a couple of days in between visiting family. We needed this time to recuperate. I was working on interviewing for jobs, and we just needed a breather. This was a nice, relaxing time, and we got to see some friends and get to know some other friends a little bit better. It was an awesome time. This is our backyard. Chehalis is a beautiful place. It's beautiful here.
Next, we headed up to Carolyn's parents' property, and we got to test out our boondocking skills.
They were a bit rusty from January.
I think we did okay. It put to rest some of the fears that I had about getting our rig in and out of their property. Carolyn kept saying, oh, they get semi-trucks in there all the time with no issues, and my brain just couldn't quite visualize getting in there.
He had no problem making the left-hand turn. I was actually a little more freaked out about driving into the little town ahead of time because I thought there was a train trestle that was too low for us to go under, so we ended up taking a big trek around and coming into town a different way. I didn't need to worry, did I?
No, it was like a 14-foot, 3-inch clearance or something.
The train trestle was taller than I remembered it, and wider too. Like, I thought it was really narrow.
You live and you learn.
It's not like I hadn't passed underneath that thing 1,000 times.
We absolutely loved our time with your parents, and while we were there, we also were able to help her sister out with some projects that she needed done at her house.
We are at my sister Elizabeth's house with her kiddos, and Garrett is doing some pressure washing for her. So fancy. Is this you in sunglasses?
No, they wanted me to draw a man.
A man. So it's just a man.
Guy with glasses.
You're covered in wood chips.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, you gotta back up so that Daddy can keep making a mess.
Get in there. We'll do both sides of this fence.
Both sides of that fence? Very nice. Good. And I see that there are sections that have already been done over there. I love the Chloe and the Jane over here. Lemonade for dinner? You're dripping with water now.
I'm a little wet.
Yes, you are. Some lemonade.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's looking good.
Yep.
You've done quite a few feet of this fence.
I'm gonna try and at least get.
Get
It's
to
gonna
that.
be easier, I think, when I get on this side
Yeah?
because I'm not having to deal with posts.
Ah, it'll just be up and down.
Yeah, that makes me happy.
That makes you happy. I'll tell Anthony.
I'm listening to
tell
my
Lizzie.
favorite podcast.
Are you?
Yeah,
It's keeping you busy.
Office Ladies.
Office ladies.
Yep.
You like office ladies?
I like The Office. So it's the ultimate office watch party. Check them out on iTunes.
Hey, are you done yet? Are you done yet?
Yeah,
Finish it up.
probably done for the day.
Yes, you need a shower. Come on. Finish it up. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're done. At least for today. You did some good work. Some very good work. Time for a shower.
Yeah.
You're covered in crap
Yep.
and you're all wet.
While we were with her folks, this put us in a really good position to go meet with some of our friends that we haven't seen in our old hometown.
It was over a year since we had seen some of these friends, but we enjoyed hanging out with Becca and Elisha and with Angelina and Harlan at a local park.
Yep.
We stopped and saw a very good friend, dear friend that the kids call Auntie Tammy. We also had a chance to hang out with Garrett's friend Patrick and his whole family. It was actually really cute. The kids got to see their old nanny, Miss Madison, and her new husband, as well as Emma's pen pal that she met about 2-3 years ago camping.
And they've been consistent friends ever since.
Very much so. My family's farm, way out in the country, has a bike path that crosses right across the driveway that links some of the smaller towns to the bigger cities. So this gave us the opportunity to grab our bikes and our helmets and get the kids out for a little adventure. We managed to go 3 miles before Edison was just about wore out. He did a fantastic job. I am so glad that he was able to get out and explore a little bit on his own 2 wheels. I think the last big bike trip that we did was last spring in Louisiana, and he was in the bike seat.
While we were there, we were really blessed to be able to celebrate the 4th of July and our independence. We had a wonderful live stream where we talked about the Declaration of Independence and just what this country means to us. And then we went to celebrate with some family friends on their lake house. We loved being able to go out on boats and go swimming, have fellowship with friends.
It's good food too.
It was good food.
Lots of good food. These were family friends that I haven't seen in quite a few years since Garrett and I were married.
I remember going there once, I think before we got married.
We were dating.
We were dating, yeah.
So it's been over 9 years at least. 10 years.
We've
It's been
married
over 10 years.
years.
It's been over 10 years since I was at one of those 4th of July get-togethers.
Swimming here on the 4th of July in a nice dark lake. Sorry, you can't hear me well because it's all wet. But doing a little exercise, cooling down. At least I'm not getting bit by mosquitoes when I'm in the water. Maybe some fish, but you know, not mosquitoes. As we were heading out of town, we made one more stop back at my parents' house. We had the opportunity to see my sister and my nieces who live in North Carolina. We don't normally get the opportunity to see them very often, and we wanted to make sure that our kids got some time to spend with their cousins.
My sister and brother-in-law also opened up their home to us during that trip back, and we were able to see that set of cousins. They are all older than our children, but they really work so well together with our kids. We spent time just hanging out as a family around the dinner table and playing games, and the next day I took the kids back so that they could play with the cousins at the local school playground.
It was a lot of fun and definitely worth coming back to Washington for a couple weeks. Make sure to check back next week as we talk about what we did to prepare for this next leg of our journey. We don't know exactly how long we are going to be out, and we wanted to make sure that we were as prepared as possible when we hit the road. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, live life intentionally.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.